Welcome again to another CheapWineFinder.com podcast for a wine we wrote up on the CheapWineFinder.com website, like we always do. And this one is a Costco. Well, it's not exclusively a Costco wine, but it's cheaper there than most places. This is the Kendall Jackson Grand Reserve Santa Barbara Chardonnay 2021. It's $25 on the Kendall Jackson website. Costco had it for $13.89, and it sells for like $16 to $19 on the web for the most part. There's a few people who have it a little cheaper, but that's what it basically is. And this is a estate, sustainably farmed grapes. It's in the Santa Barbara County AVA. There's vineyards in the Santa Maria County. Santa Maria County is in the Santa Barbara AVA, but it's the northern boundary of there. And then there's some grapes coming out of Monterey. The label says Santa Barbara, so to do that, you have to have 75% of the grapes coming out of the Santa Barbara AVA. So less than 25% come out of Monterey. The grapes here are the top 7% of Kendall Jackson's Chardonnay crop. That's how they figure this out. I mean, and it's down to 7%, not the top few, it's the top 7%. And it's different lots from different vineyards. And that's how they work it. And this is, they do small lot, they do small barrel, I think barriques, the Bordeaux barrels, that's one most people think of when they think of wine. And they do these separately and they blend it together to taste. And Kendall Jackson knows a little bit about Chardonnay. Their Vintners Reserve, which is around $10, has been the best-selling Chardonnay in the United States for 30 years in a row. That's 30. They kind of set the tune. You know, all Chardonnays are different. There's so many different ways to make it. Different process. You can use this, not use that, use half of this, half of that. There's variations. So all Chardonnay is different. You know, if someone says, I don't like Chardonnay, well, no, they're different. You got to taste them. Then, you know, they're not all the same. But Kendall Jackson's kind of like the trendsetter. I mean, since they're making the wines that sell the most, a lot of people are watching. Not that everybody does. Like I said, they're all different. But Kendall Jackson knows their way around Chardonnay, and they've been around since 1982. And they have a whole line of wines. This actually isn't their top wine. They have single vineyard and single parts. I mean, they have a whole line. And this is an estate wine. And this is a wine that tastes expensive. It's $13.89. That's not expensive, not for a reserve Chardonnay, not from the top 7% of their crop. I mean, it tastes like a wine that would cost much more, and this is a oaked Chardonnay. It has, I think, 86% French oak, 14% American oak. I'm going to take a sip. It's not over-oaked. It's not cloying. But I think 29% of the French barrels were new and only 1% of the American oak barrels were new. The American oak has a much wider grain. It can give off more oak influence, so you got to watch it. French oak is also has different flavors. If you ask the French, their French oak's the only way to go, but you see American oak in a lot of wines. And American oak's where the vanilla and the chocolate come from, and that's a couple of flavors. Not so much chocolate in a Chardonnay, but with red grapes, you kind of like that flavor and that mocha and that kind of thing going on. So how does it taste? It tastes really good. It's 14, I think 7 or 14.9 in the alcohol. This is kind of big for a Chardonnay, so it's going to have body, which it does. We're taking another sip. And it's got the vanilla, it's got honey, it's got melon, it's got got interesting flavors going on. There's peach, there's pear, there's dried pineapple bits. There's even some peach or peach in light syrup, like canned peach thing going on. That syrupy thing, not sweet, but it's in there. This is a full-flavored medium plus Chardonnay. I mean, if you're interested in what expensive Chardonnay is, because the expensive stuff doesn't taste like the $10 stuff. There's more going on, but you want to try it out for a little bit less? Yeah, this is the way to go. It's a nice Chardonnay. It's if you're used to the unoaked and the very lightly oaked Chardonnays, it might be a little bit to get used to, but the flavors are good. Have it chilled. That'll take a little bit of the edge off if you're not into oak Chardonnay. Just chill a little bit, not too much, and you'll have yourself a bargain, because this is a fairly inexpensive Chardonnay. So that's it for me, Domain Dave from CheapWineFinder.com, and that was the Kendall Jackson Grand Reserve Santa Barbara Chardonnay 2021. I tend to like Santa Barbara wines. That's something I learned this year, and it took me 15 years to figure it out. So there you go. Take it easy. We got a rosé coming up, so stay safe, stay healthy, and keep it cheap. Bye-bye.